Shut up, you fing brat! The boot crushed into Maya Chen's jaw. Teeth shattered. Blood sprayed across the concrete floor. She hit the ground. 28 years old, 5'3", barely 115 pounds soaking wet. 3 men towered over her, laughing like hyenas over a kill. Master Sergeant Tyler Grant spit on her crumpled form. Pathetic little bitch. Crying yet? She wasn't crying. She was counting. 3 targets, 47 seconds until backup position. 6 ways to kill each of them without making a sound. They saw a terrified IT contractor bleeding on the warehouse floor. They didn't see the Navy SEAL who'd eliminated more threats than they'd ever met. They didn't see the woman who'd spent 6 years becoming a ghost. Their mistake. Subscribe to our channel and follow this story to the very end. Comment your city below. I want to see how far this story travels across America and beyond. The metallic taste of blood filled Maya's mouth as she lay on the cold warehouse floor of Ramstein Air Base, Germany. Her ribs screamed with every shallow breath. Her vision blurred where her glasses had been knocked off, crushed under Tyler Grant's size 13 boot. Get up. Grant's voice dripped with contempt. I said, get up, you worthless piece of... Maya pushed herself to her hands and knees, letting her body shake, letting the tears come, selling the performance. Please, she whispered. I didn't mean to. I was just doing my job. Your job? Sergeant Leo Vance kicked her bag across the floor, papers scattered everywhere. Your job is to keep your mouth shut and your eyes on your computer screen. Sergeant Marcus Webb circled her like a shark. You know what happens to nosy little girls who ask too many questions. Maya kept her eyes down, submissive, terrified, everything they expected. But her mind was racing, cataloging every detail. Vance favored his left knee, old injury, probably Afghanistan. Webb kept his right hand near his belt, concealed carry, ankle holster. Grant's breathing was elevated, anger management issues, definitely on steroids given the acne scarring on his neck. I'm sorry, she sobbed. I'm so sorry. I won't ask any more questions about the equipment manifests, I promise. Grant grabbed her by the hair, yanking her head back. His breath reeked of cheap beer and chewing tobacco. You're damn right you won't. Because if I hear you've been sniffing around logistics again, we'll have another conversation. A longer one. Somewhere nobody can hear you scream. We clear? Yes. The word came out broken. Perfect. I can't hear you. Yes, sir. He threw her back to the ground. Her head cracked against the concrete. Real pain this time, not performance. Stars exploded across her vision. Clean yourself up, Grant said. And if you tell anyone about this little talk, remember, accidents happen all the time on military bases. Girls like you, they're fragile. They break easy. The 3 men walked away, laughing. The warehouse door slammed shut. Maya stayed on the ground for exactly 90 seconds. Not because she couldn't move. Because she was listening. Counting their footsteps. Making sure they were really gone. Then she sat up, wincing as her ribs protested. She found her crushed glasses, the frames bent but salvageable. Her bag, her papers, and the small recording device hidden in her watch, still running, still capturing everything. She pressed the button twice. Upload complete. Her phone buzzed. Encrypted message from Commander Sarah Torres, NCIS. Got it. Good work. You okay? Maya typed back. Cover established. They bought it completely. Get to medical. Make it official. Copy that. Maya pulled herself to her feet, every muscle protesting. She caught her reflection in a grimy window. Her lip was split, already swelling. Blood trickled from her hairline. Bruises were forming on her cheekbone. She looked exactly like what she needed to look like. A victim. Perfect. 48 hours earlier, Maya had sat in a conference room at NCIS headquarters in Virginia, staring at photographs of 3 dead women. "Captain Jennifer Hayes, 29, Commander Torres said, sliding the first photo across the table. "Found dead in her quarters at Ramstein. Official cause? Suicide by hanging." Maya's hand trembled as she picked up the photograph. Jennifer. Her roommate from basic training 10 years ago. The woman who'd taught her how to make a bed with hospital corners. Who'd held her hair back when she puked after their first 20-mile ruck march. Who'd promised they'd always have each other's backs. "Jen didn't kill herself," Maya said quietly. "I know." Torres slid over another photo. Senior Airman Patricia Martinez, 24, drowned during routine training exercise. She was a competitive swimmer in college. Murdered. Almost certainly. The third photo. Staff Sergeant Nicole Rivera, 26. Car accident on base. Brake failure. She'd filed a maintenance request 2 days before her death. The request disappeared from the system. Maya studied the faces. Young women. Warriors. Dead. What did they know? Torres pulled up a file on her laptop. 3 months ago, all 3 women accessed classified logistics files, equipment manifests, shipping routes, inventory records, all related to Lieutenant Colonel Frank Morrison's supply chain operations. Morrison. Maya knew the name. Every SEAL did. The logistics officer who somehow always had exactly what you needed when you needed it. No questions asked. He's dirty? Dirtier than we imagined. Torres clicked through a series of documents. We think he's running a black market arms operation through Ramstein. High-grade military weapons disappearing from inventory, showing up in Syria, Yemen, Afghanistan. We're talking millions of dollars, hundreds of weapons, enough to arm a small terrorist organization. Maya's jaw clenched. 2 years ago, her SEAL team had walked into an ambush in Syria. The insurgents had American weapons, M4s, grenades, night vision equipment. Her teammates Danny Rodriguez and Marcus "Hawk" Hawkins had died in that ambush. How long has this been going on? At least 3 years, maybe longer. Torres closed the laptop. Hayes, Martinez, and Rivera found evidence. We think they were building a case. Before they could report it, they died. And Morrison? Protected. His commanding officer, Brigadier General David Kruger, has personally signed off on all 3 death investigations, ruled them accidents or suicides within 48 hours. No outside review. No questions asked. Maya stood, walked to the window. Outside, the Virginia sun was setting. Normal people were going home to their families, having dinner, watching TV, living lives that didn't include dead friends and arms dealers and generals who covered up murder. What do you need from me? Torres stood beside her. You're the only female SEAL currently available for undercover work. You're the right age, right profile, and you have personal stake in this. Your connection to Hayes gives you motivation to see it through. What's the cover? IT contractor, data analyst. You'll be assigned to base communications, but your real job is getting into Morrison's logistics operation. We need evidence, hard evidence that will hold up in military court, enough to take down Morrison, Kruger, and anyone else involved. Timeline? However long it takes. Weeks, months. You'll be alone, Maya. No backup on base. No extraction if things go sideways. If Morrison suspects you're anything other than a civilian contractor, you'll end up like Hayes and the others. Maya turned to face her. When do I leave? Tomorrow morning, 0600. Torres handed her a file. This is your legend. Emily Sanders, age 28, Georgetown graduate, systems analyst. Nervous, eager to please, completely harmless. Maya opened the file, studied the woman she'd have to become. I can do harmless. I know you can, but Maya... Torres's voice softened. These men killed 3 women already. They won't hesitate to kill a 4th. If you're not sure about this, I'm sure. Maya closed the file. Jen was my friend. She deserved better than a fake suicide ruling and a closed case. They all did. Just remember, you're not there for revenge. You're there for justice. Maya didn't answer. Sometimes the line between the two was thinner than people wanted to admit. The Remstein base medical clinic smelled like antiseptic and stale coffee. Maya sat on an examination table while a young corpsman documented her injuries. You're going to need stitches for that lip, he said, shining a light in her eyes. Possible concussion. Definitely bruised ribs, maybe cracked. What happened? I fell. The lie came easily. Tripped over some equipment in the warehouse. Stupid, really. The corpsman's eyes narrowed. You fell. Yes. Ms. Sanders, these injuries are consistent with assault. If someone hurt you... I fell, Maya repeated, meeting his gaze. I'm clumsy. It's embarrassing, but it's the truth. He didn't believe her. She could see it in his face. But he documented what she told him, stitched her lip, wrapped her ribs, gave her painkillers she wouldn't take. You should report this, he said quietly. If someone on this base is hurting civilians... I fell, Maya said for the 3rd time. That's my official statement. After he left, she sat alone in the examination room, staring at her reflection in the metal cabinet. Her face was a mess. Good. Morrison and his crew needed to see her broken. Needs to believe they'd put her in her place. Her phone buzzed. Torres again. Medical report filed? Yes. Official story? I fell. Good. Lie low for a few days. Let them think they won. Maya looked at her battered reflection and smiled. Let them think whatever they wanted. The hunt had just begun. 3 days later, Maya returned to work. She moved slowly, carefully, like every step hurt, which wasn't entirely an act. Her ribs were healing, but they still screamed if she twisted wrong. She kept her head down, didn't make eye contact, jumped whenever someone spoke to her. The perfect picture of a traumatized woman trying to be invisible. And she listened. The base was a gossip factory. People talked, especially about the new IT contractor who'd fallen and shown up looking like she'd gone 10 rounds with a prizefighter. Did you see her face? Someone whispered in the commissary. Grant and his boys, you think? Probably. They have a reputation. Someone should report them. Someone did, last year. The complaint disappeared. So did the woman who filed it. Maya memorized every word, every name, every connection. On day 4, she accidentally bumped into Lieutenant Colonel Morrison in the hallway outside logistics. I'm so sorry, sir. She dropped her tablet, papers scattering everywhere. I'm such a klutz. I'm so sorry. It's fine. Morrison's voice was smooth, cultured, nothing like Grant's brutal directness. He bent down, helped her gather papers. You're Sanders, right? The new IT contractor? Yes, sir. Emily Sanders. She kept her eyes down, submissive, harmless. I heard you had an accident. His gaze traveled over her fading bruises. Are you all right? I'm fine, sir. Just clumsy. He handed her the last of her papers. Well, be more careful. The base can be dangerous if you're not paying attention. The words sounded concerned, but his eyes were cold, calculating. He was measuring her, deciding if she was a threat. Yes, sir. I'll be more careful. He walked away. Maya watched him go, her mind racing. Morrison wasn't like Grant. Grant was a blunt instrument, all rage and violence. Morrison was a scalpel. Precise. Controlled. Dangerous in a completely different way. That night she compiled her first report for Torres. Detailed observations of Morrison's schedule, his staff, his security protocols. The names of the people who worked closely with him. The gaps in the logistics paperwork she'd been able to access. She encrypted it, sent it through the secure channel, and waited. Torres's response came an hour later. Good work, but be careful. Morrison's smart. If he suspects anything... He won't, Maya typed back. I'm just a scared little IT girl who fell down. Make sure that's all he sees. Maya looked at her reflection again. The bruises were fading. In a week, they'd be gone. She'd have to be extra careful then. Extra timid. Extra harmless. She pulled up a photo on her phone. Jennifer Hayes, alive and laughing, arm around Maya's shoulders. Taken 7 years ago, right after they'd both graduated from basic training. I'm going to get them, Jen, Maya whispered to the photo. Every single one of them. I promise. Her phone buzzed again. Unknown number. Stop asking questions. This is your last warning. Maya stared at the message. Then she deleted it. She'd been warned before, threatened before, attacked before. She was still here, and she was just getting started. The warehouse was dark when Maya returned to it 9 days after the assault. She wasn't supposed to be there. IT contractors had no reason to access logistics storage. But she'd learned the security patterns, knew the blind spots in the camera coverage, understood when the guards changed shifts. She moved through the shadows like her call sign suggested. A ghost. The crates were exactly where she expected them, marked for disposal, standard military surplus being sent for destruction. Except Maya had seen the shipping manifests. These crates weren't going to disposal. They were being shipped to a private freight company in Frankfurt. She photographed the serial numbers, the shipping labels, the customs declarations, all falsified. Then she opened one crate. Inside, M4 rifles, 20 of them, still in factory wrapping. Not surplus, brand new. Her blood ran cold. This wasn't just stealing old equipment. Morrison was diverting new weapons straight from the supply chain. She photographed everything, serial numbers, lot codes, everything NCIS would need to trace where these weapons were supposed to go versus where they were actually going. Find what you're looking for? Maya spun. Lieutenant Colonel Morrison stood in the doorway. Behind him, Tyler Grant and Leo Vance, both armed. Her mind raced. She'd been careful, waited for the security gap. How had they... You're good, Morrison said, walking toward her. I'll give you that. The submissive act, the fear. Very convincing. But you made one mistake. Maya said nothing. Calculated distances, exits, tactical options. Nobody trips and falls and gets injuries like you had, Morrison continued. I've seen enough domestic violence cases to know what a beating looks like, which means you let Grant hurt you. Which means you wanted to establish a pattern, create a paper trail, make yourself look like a victim. He stopped 3 feet from her, close enough to be threatening, too far for her to strike effectively without revealing her training. The question is, who are you really? NCIS? CID? Some Pentagon investigator? Maya kept her breathing shallow, her hands trembling. I don't know what you're talking about. I needed a stapler and I thought... You needed a stapler, Morrison smiled. At 2,300 hours, in a restricted storage facility, and you just happened to open a crate of rifles. I didn't know what was in it. No. He pulled out his phone, showed her a video. Maya picking the lock on the warehouse door. Maya moving with precision through the aisles. Maya photographing the crates with professional efficiency. No fear, no hesitation, no clumsiness. The movements of someone with training, with purpose. That doesn't look like someone who needs a stapler, Morrison said. That looks like someone conducting surveillance. Maya's mind raced. The cover was blown. She needed to abort, get to an exit, call Torres, get... She's NCIS. General Kruger stepped out of the shadows. I've been checking into her background. Emily Sanders exists, but the real Emily Sanders is in Seattle, working for Microsoft. This woman is using a legend. Maya's heart hammered. This was it. The moment where undercover operators died, where witnesses disappeared, where... So here's what's going to happen, Morrison said quietly. You're going to tell us who you really are, who sent you, and what you've reported back. And if you cooperate, your death will be quick. If you don't... He nodded to Grant. Well, Grant has creative ideas about interrogation. Grant cracked his knuckles, smiled. Maya looked at the three men, at the crates of weapons, at the phone in Morrison's hand showing video of her operation. Then she did something that surprised them all. She laughed. Something funny? Morrison's eyes narrowed. You have no idea what you've done, Maya said. Her voice had changed. No more trembling, no more fear. You assaulted a federal agent, threatened a federal agent, and now you're going to murder a federal agent. On camera. She pointed to her watch. You're not the only one recording. Everything you just said, already transmitted, already in NCIS servers, already attached to warrants that are being executed right now at your homes, your offices, your vehicles. Morrison's face went white. You're bluffing. Am I? Maya smiled. Tell me, Colonel, when's the last time you checked your offshore accounts? Because I'm betting federal agents are seizing them right about now. She's lying, Kruger said, but his voice wavered. Maybe, Maya said. Or maybe you should ask yourself, would a federal agent really come to a foreign military base, get herself beaten half to death, and spend 2 weeks building a cover story without having backup? Would NCIS really send someone alone into a situation this dangerous without support? Morrison's hand tightened on his phone. Grant, check the perimeter. Grant moved toward the door. It burst open before he reached it. Federal agents, hands where we can see them! Flashlights, weapons, tactical vests. A dozen NCIS agents poured into the warehouse, German federal police behind them. Commander Torres walked in last, her badge held high. Lieutenant Colonel Frank Morrison, Brigadier General David Kruger, you're under arrest for conspiracy, arms trafficking, and the murders of Captain Jennifer Hayes, Senior Airman Patricia Martinez, and Staff Sergeant Nicole Rivera. Morrison's face crumpled. All his composure, all his control, shattered in an instant. I didn't kill anyone. That was... Shut up, Kruger hissed. That was your orders! Morrison's voice rose, panicked. You said they were getting too close. You said we had to clean house. I said shut up! Torres nodded to her agents. Separate them, read them their rights, get everything on record. As Grant and Vance were handcuffed, Maya walked over to Torres. You okay? Torres asked quietly. Bruised ribs are finally healing. Maya touched her lip where the stitches had been. How'd you know when to come in? You activated the emergency beacon in your watch 17 minutes ago, when Morrison showed you that video. Torres smiled. We were already on base, just waiting for your signal. The whole thing was a setup. Not the whole thing. We really didn't know when Morrison would move on you, but once he did, Torres looked at the arrested men. We had everything we needed. Confession on tape, incriminating evidence, enough to put them away for life. Maya walked over to the crates, ran her hand over one of the rifles. These weapons, where were they going? Syria, through a broker in Frankfurt. Same network that supplied the insurgents who killed your teammates 2 years ago. Maya's hand clenched into a fist. Danny, Hawk, dead because men like Morrison valued money over lives. They'll pay, Torres said softly. For your teammates, for Hayes and the others, for every crime they committed. They'll pay. Maya nodded. But payment and justice weren't the same thing. Payment didn't bring anyone back. She looked at Morrison being led away in handcuffs, his career destroyed, his life over. He caught her eye. Who are you? He asked. Really? Maya walked up to him, looked him in the eye, let him see past the timid contractor, past the scared victim. Let him see the warrior underneath. Lieutenant Maya Chen, she said quietly. SEAL Team 9. Captain Hayes was my friend, and you killed her. Morrison's face went gray. I didn't. It wasn't supposed. Save it for your court-martial. Maya turned away. I hope you rot. As the agents led the prisoners out, Torres put a hand on Maya's shoulder. You did good work here. Really good work. I let him beat me, Maya said. Let Grant break my ribs and split my lip, and you did what was necessary to complete the mission. To get justice for 3 murdered women. To stop an arms trafficking network that's killed hundreds of people. Torres squeezed her shoulder. That's not weakness. That's strength. Maya didn't answer. She was looking at her reflection in the warehouse window again, seeing the fading bruises, the healing wounds, the scars that would never quite fade. She'd spent 2 weeks pretending to be weak, pretending to be broken, pretending to be a victim. The act was over, but standing there in the warehouse, surrounded by agents and evidence and the wreckage of Morrison's empire, Maya realized something. The hardest part of being undercover wasn't pretending to be someone else. It was remembering who you really were when the act was over. And wondering if maybe, just maybe, the lines between the mask and the truth had blurred more than she wanted to admit. Torres's phone rang. She answered, listened, her face going grim. What? Maya asked. Torres hung up, looked at Maya with an expression that made her stomach drop. We found something in Kruger's safe. Documents, communications, evidence of a larger network. Torres pulled up a file on her phone. Morrison and Kruger weren't working alone. They were part of an organization, multiple bases, multiple commanders, all running the same operation. Maya felt cold. How many bases? At least 12. Maybe more. Torres showed her the list. Bases across Europe, Asia, the Middle East. This is bigger than we thought. Much bigger. And the people running it? Torres's finger stopped on one name at the top of the organizational chart. Maya's blood turned to ice. She knew that name. Everyone in the SEAL community knew that name. That's impossible, Maya whispered. I wish it were. Torres closed the phone. We need to talk, somewhere secure. Because if this is real, if this person is really involved... She trailed off. Didn't need to finish. Maya understood. She'd thought taking down Morrison and Kruger would end this, would bring justice for Jennifer and the others, would let her rest. She'd been wrong. This wasn't the end. It was just the beginning. The secure room at NCIS headquarters smelled like coffee and tension. Maya sat across from Torres, a classified file between them. Outside, dawn was breaking over Virginia. Inside, Maya's world was shattering. "Say it again," Maya whispered. Torres opened the file. Rear Admiral James Whitfield, Deputy Commander of Naval Special Warfare. The name hung in the air like smoke from a gun. Admiral Whitfield. The man who'd pinned Maya's trident on her chest when she graduated BUD/S. The man who'd approved every one of her missions. The man every SEAL trusted with their lives. There has to be a mistake. I wish there were. Torres slid documents across the table. Bank records, encrypted communications, shipping manifests. Morrison and Kruger weren't running the operation. They were middle management. Whitfield's been orchestrating this for 12 years. Maya's hands shook as she picked up the papers. 12 years. How many weapons? How many deaths? How many of her brothers and sisters had died because Whitfield sold out his own people? Danny and Hawk. Her voice cracked. The Syria ambush. Was that? Yes. Torres pulled up another file. Your team's patrol route was sold to a broker named Victor Schneider, same broker Morrison was using. The money trail leads back to Whitfield. Maya stood so fast her chair crashed backward. She couldn't breathe, couldn't think. Danny Rodriguez had been her swim buddy through BUD/S. Marcus Hawkins had taught her how to shoot on the move. They'd died 2 years ago in Syria, and she'd thought it was just bad luck. Wrong place, wrong time. But it wasn't luck. It was murder, orchestrated by a man they'd called Sir. Maya. Torres stood too. I know this is... He shook my hand at their funeral. Maya's voice was ice. Looked me in the eye and told me they died heroes. And he's the one who killed them. Which is why we need you to stay focused, stay professional. This isn't about revenge. Isn't it? Maya spun to face her. He murdered my teammates. Jennifer. 3 other women at Ramstein. How many more? Hundreds? Thousands? And you want me to stay professional? I want you to help me put him away for life. Torres's voice sharpened. But I need you thinking like an operator, not a victim. Can you do that? Maya closed her eyes, breathed, counted to 10. When she opened them, the rage was still there, but controlled, focused, weaponized. What do you need? Torres pulled up a map. Whitfield's smart, smarter than Morrison or Kruger. He's compartmentalized everything. Different operations at different bases, no direct contact, layers of cutouts and intermediaries. Taking down Morrison didn't even make him blink. Then how do we get him? By getting someone close to him. Someone he trusts. Torres tapped the map. 3 days ago, Whitfield's personal aide retired. The position just opened up. Lieutenant Commander position. Pentagon assignment. Direct access to Whitfield's schedule, his communications, his operations. Maya stared at her. You want me to work for him? I want you to be the person who brings him down. From the inside, where he'll never see you coming. He knows who I am. He approved my SEAL qualification. He's seen my service record. Not as Maya Chen. Torres pulled out another file. As Lieutenant Commander Sarah Mitchell, Naval Intelligence. Stellar record. No combat deployments. No connection to anyone Whitfield's killed. Perfect candidate for a desk job supporting the deputy commander. Maya picked up the new legend. Sarah Mitchell, 28 years old, Georgetown graduate, intelligence analyst. Everything Whitfield would want in an aide. Smart, capable, and completely non-threatening. How long? However long it takes. Weeks, months. This isn't like Ramstein. Whitfield's been doing this for 12 years. He's careful, paranoid. One mistake, and you're dead. When do I start? Monday. That gives you 72 hours to become Sarah Mitchell. Torres closed the files. But Maya, I need you to understand something. If you do this, you're going after the second most powerful man in naval special warfare. He has connections everywhere. Pentagon, Congress, White House. If he even suspects what you're doing, I know the risks. Do you? Because once you're inside, I can't protect you, can't extract you. You'll be alone in the most dangerous undercover operation NCIS has ever run. Maya thought about Danny, about Hawk, about Jennifer, about all the people who died because James Whitfield valued money over honor. I'm already alone, she said quietly. Have been since Syria. At least now I know who I'm hunting. Torres studied her face for a long moment. All right, but we do this my way. By the book. Evidence first, arrest second. No cowboy moves, no personal vendettas. Understood? Understood. Good. Because I meant what I said at Ramstein. This is about justice, not revenge. Maya nodded, but standing there in the secure room, looking at Whitfield's photograph, she wondered if Torres was wrong. Maybe sometimes justice and revenge were the same thing. The Pentagon was everything Maya expected and nothing she was ready for. Massive, bureaucratic, filled with people who wielded power like weapons and never got their hands dirty. She reported Monday morning as Lieutenant Commander Sarah Mitchell, wearing dress whites and a fake smile. Her legend was airtight. Torres had made sure of that. Background, service records, performance evaluations, all designed to make her exactly what Whitfield wanted. Commander Mitchell? A lieutenant stood at the entrance. I'm Lieutenant Foster. The Admiral's expecting you. Maya followed him through corridors that all looked the same. Left, right, another left. She memorized every turn, every exit, every security checkpoint. Old habits. Whitfield's office was on the 4th floor. Corner suite. Windows overlooking the river, the kind of office that screamed power and influence. Commander Mitchell, sir. Lieutenant Foster knocked, opened the door. Admiral James Whitfield looked up from his desk. 58 years old, silver hair, sharp eyes that missed nothing. 3 stars on his collar. 35 years of service. And, according to Torres's files, 12 years of treason. Commander Mitchell. His voice was warm, grandfatherly. Come in. Sit down. Maya sat, keeping her posture perfect, respectful but confident, eager but not desperate. Your record is impressive, Whitfield said, reviewing her file. Intelligence specialist, top of your class at the Naval Academy, fluent in Arabic and Farsi. 3 years in signals analysis. Thank you, sir. Why do you want this position? Maya had rehearsed the answer 100 times. I want to serve at the highest levels of naval special warfare, sir. Learn from the best. Contribute to operations that matter. Ambitious. Realistic, sir. I believe I have skills that would benefit your office. Whitfield smiled. Tell me, Commander, what do you know about my operations? Very little, sir. I know you oversee all naval special warfare deployments, coordinate with other services, manage budgets and resources. Beyond that, she shrugged. I assume much of your work is classified above my pay grade. It is, he closed her file. Which brings me to my next question. Can I trust you? Maya met his eyes. Sir? Trust, loyalty, discretion. He leaned forward. In this office, you'll see things, hear things, things that can never leave this room. Can I trust you to keep those things confidential? Absolutely, sir. Even if what you see doesn't make sense, even if you disagree with decisions I make. Maya's pulse quickened. Was he testing her, trying to gauge if she'd report misconduct? Sir, I'm here to support you, not question you. If you make a decision, I trust it's the right one. Whitfield studied her for what felt like an hour. Then he smiled. Good answer. You start tomorrow. 0700. Don't be late. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. As Maya left his office, her hands were shaking, not from fear, from rage. She'd just promised loyalty to the man who'd murdered her teammates, smiled at him, called him sir. Her phone buzzed. Torres. How'd it go? Maya typed back, I'm in. He bought it completely. Good. Remember, slow and steady. Don't rush. We need ironclad evidence. Copy that. But walking through the Pentagon corridors, Maya wondered how long she could keep up the act. How long she could smile at a traitor without pulling her sidearm and ending it right there. She had her answer 3 hours later. Commander Mitchell. Maya turned. A woman in Navy fatigues was running toward her, mid-20s, Hispanic, terrified eyes. I'm sorry, The woman grabbed Maya's arm. I need help, please. You're new here, you don't know. Please, I just need someone to listen. Slow down. Maya guided her to a quiet alcove. What's wrong? My name is Nicole Rivera, Petty Officer 2nd Class. I work in logistics. The words tumbled out. 3 months ago, I found something. Documents, shipping manifests that didn't match inventory records. I reported it to my CO. He told me to forget it. But I couldn't, so I kept digging and then... Then what? Rivera's voice dropped to a whisper. Then people started dying. A captain at Ramstein, an airman, a sergeant. All women, all dead within weeks of accessing the same files I did. Maya's blood ran cold. What files? Equipment transfers, weapons shipments, logistics chains that don't make sense. Rivera pulled out a flash drive. I copied everything, made backups, but I don't know who to trust. Everyone I've approached either ignores me or threatens me or... She stopped. Her eyes went wide. She was looking past Maya. Maya turned. Admiral Whitfield stood 10 feet away, watching them. Commander Mitchell, he said pleasantly. Making friends already? Yes, sir. Petty Officer Rivera was just... I know what Petty Officer Rivera was doing. Whitfield walked closer. His smile never wavered. Rivera has a habit of spreading wild conspiracy theories. Don't you, Petty Officer? Rivera's face went white. Sir, You're dismissed, Rivera. And if I hear you've been bothering my staff again with your nonsense, we'll have a conversation about your fitness for duty. Understood? Yes, sir. Rivera practically ran. Whitfield watched her go, then turned to Maya. A word of advice, Commander. There are people on this base who see conspiracies everywhere. Ghost stories, imaginary threats. It's best to ignore them. Yes, sir. I understand. Good. He started to walk away, stopped. Oh, and Commander, that flash drive Rivera tried to give you. I'll need that. Maya's heart hammered. How did he know about the drive? He'd been 10 feet away. There's no way he could have seen, unless he'd been watching, listening, waiting to see if she'd take the bait. Sir, she didn't give me anything. No? Whitfield's eyes hardened. My mistake. See you tomorrow, Commander. 0700 sharp. He walked away. Maya stood frozen. Her cover. Was it blown? Did Whitfield know? Or was Rivera a test? A way to see if Maya would report suspicious activity or pursue it? Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. Don't trust anyone. They're watching. R. Rivera. Maya deleted the message, walked to her car, drove to the safe house Torres had set up 3 miles from the Pentagon. Only when she was inside, door locked, windows covered, did she let herself react. She'd been in Whitfield's presence for less than 30 minutes, and he'd already tested her, already probed for weaknesses. This wasn't going to be like Rammstein. Morrison had been arrogant, sloppy. Whitfield was neither. Her phone rang. "Torres, we have a problem," Torres said without preamble. "Nicole Rivera just filed a missing persons report. Her roommate, Petty Officer Amy Chen, didn't come home last night." Maya's stomach dropped. "Chen, any relation to your cover identity at Rammstein?" "No. Common name. Coincidence." Torres paused. "Except Amy Chen works in Pentagon Logistics, and she accessed the same classified files Rivera mentioned." "When?" "2 days ago. 48 hours before you started with Whitfield." Maya closed her eyes. "He knew. Before I even started, he knew Rivera was talking, knew someone else was digging. He's cleaning house. Which means you're in immediate danger. If he suspects you're connected to Rivera, he does suspect. He saw us together, knew about a flash drive he couldn't possibly have seen her try to give me." Maya paced. "He's testing me, seeing if I'll report Rivera or help her. Either way, he learns if I'm a threat. Then we pull you out." "Abort the mission. Find another way." "No." Maya's voice hardened. "Amy Chen is missing. Rivera's next. If I pull out now, they both die, and Whitfield disappears into retirement with his millions. We don't get another shot at this." "Maya." "I can handle him. But I need to find Amy Chen. Tonight. Before Whitfield does." "You don't even know where to look." "Yes, I do." Maya pulled up her laptop, logged into Pentagon systems using her new credentials. Rivera said Chen accessed shipping manifests. There are only 3 warehouses where those physical records are stored. I'll start with the closest one. "And if Whitfield has people watching those warehouses?" "Then I'll be very careful." Maya grabbed her jacket. "I didn't survive 6 years as a SEAL by being reckless." "You survived by having a team. Backup. Support." Torres's voice shook. "Going alone into a situation controlled by Whitfield is suicide." "So is going to Rammstein. So is every mission I've ever run." Maya checked her weapon, chambered around. "But I'm still here, and I'm going to find Amy Chen." She hung up before Torres could argue. Outside, night had fallen over Virginia. Maya drove toward the warehouse district, her mind racing. Whitfield was smart, careful. He wouldn't kill Chen himself. He'd have someone else do it. Someone expendable. Someone loyal. The question was, how many people did he have? How deep did his network go? Maya was about to find out. The warehouse was dark when she arrived. No guards, no security, just empty lots and rusted buildings. Too quiet. Maya killed her headlights, parked 2 blocks away, approached on foot using shadows for cover. Her hand stayed near her weapon, every sense on high alert. The door was unlocked. Wrong. Everything about this was wrong. She pushed it open anyway. Inside, darkness. The smell of oil and metal and something else. Something organic. Blood. Maya pulled her weapon, swept the room. Empty crates. Old equipment. And in the back corner, illuminated by a single overhead light, Amy Chen. Tied to a chair, head slumped forward, not moving. Maya ran forward. "Chen! Amy, can you hear me?" No response. Maya checked her pulse. Weak. Thready. But there. Amy, I'm getting you out of here. Stay with me. She cut the ropes. Chen collapsed forward. Maya caught her, lowered her to the ground. That's when she saw it. The wire. Running from Chen's chair to a device in the corner. A timer counting down. 4 minutes, 37 seconds. It was a trap. Whitfield hadn't killed Chen. He'd used her as bait, and Maya had walked right into it. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. You have 4 minutes to save her or yourself, not both. Choose wisely. W. Whitfield. Maya looked at Chen, at the bomb, at the door 50 feet away. She could run, save herself, let Chen die. Or she could try to disarm the device and probably die with her. 4 minutes, 22 seconds. God damn it! Maya grabbed her phone, called Torres. I need EOD at my location, now. I have a bomb and a casualty. How much time? 4 minutes. They can't get there in 4 minutes. Then I'm doing this myself. Maya ended the call, focused on the device. Standard military explosive, C4. Enough to level the building. Detonator wired to a cell phone trigger. And the timer. 3 minutes, 41 seconds. Maya's hands moved fast. Cut the red wire. Nothing happened. Cut the blue wire. Timer kept counting. 2 minutes, 55 seconds. She pulled out her knife, started to pry open the detonator housing. If she could disconnect the primer. The phone rang. Maya stared at it. If she answered, the bomb might detonate. If she didn't, it would detonate in 2 minutes anyway. She answered. Hello, Commander Mitchell. Whitfield's voice was calm, pleasant. Enjoying your first day? Let her go. She has nothing to do with this, doesn't she? Petty Officer Chen accessed classified files. Files that don't concern her. Files that might expose certain operations. He paused. Sound familiar? I don't know what you're talking about. No? Then why are you in a warehouse trying to disarm a bomb instead of home enjoying your evening? 2 minutes. 10 seconds. Because someone has to stop you, Maya said. Whitfield laughed. Stop me? Commander, you don't even know what I'm doing. You have no idea how deep this goes, how many people are involved, how impossible it would be to stop even if you tried. I stopped Morrison. I'll stop you. Silence on the line. Then, Morrison. Interesting. Most people don't know about that operation yet. It hasn't been made public. So how do you... He stopped. Maya could hear the gears turning. Who are you? His voice changed, harder, colder. Your legend says Sarah Mitchell. But no one knows about Morrison except NCIS and the people involved. So who are you, really? 1 minute, 33 seconds. Maya made a decision, ripped out the cell phone detonator. The timer stopped. 52 seconds remaining. Someone who's going to destroy everything you built, Maya said. Someone who's going to make sure you spend the rest of your life in prison for murdering my teammates. She hung up, grabbed Chen, threw her over her shoulder, ran for the door. She made it 15 feet before the backup detonator triggered. The explosion threw her forward. Heat, pressure, the world turning upside down. Maya hit the ground hard, Chen underneath her, shielding the other woman with her body. Debris rained down, fire roared. Smoke filled her lungs. She couldn't hear, couldn't see, could barely breathe. But she was alive. And so was Amy Chen. Torres found them 20 minutes later, both covered in soot and blood, but breathing. Paramedics loaded Chen into an ambulance. Torres pulled Maya aside. Your cover's blown. Mitchfield knows you're not Sarah Mitchell. I know. Maya coughed, tasted blood. He tried to kill me. Kill us. Which means he's desperate, scared. Torres helped her to a waiting car. We've got him on attempted murder of a federal agent. That's enough to bring him in. It's not enough to prove the arms trafficking, the murders, everything else. Then we'll build that case after we arrest him. He'll run. The second you move on him, he'll disappear. Torres opened the car door. Then we move fast, tonight, before he has a chance. Maya grabbed her arm. Wait. If we arrest him now, we lose the network. Everyone he's working with goes underground. We get one admiral and lose dozens of co-conspirators. So what do you suggest? Maya looked at the burning warehouse, at Amy Chen being loaded into the ambulance, at the carnage Whitfield had caused. Let him think I'm dead, she said slowly. The explosion, the fire. Let him think he won. Then I come back. Different cover, different approach. Hit him when he's not expecting it. That's insane. He tried to kill you, twice. And you want to go back? I want to finish this. All of it. Not just Whitfield, but everyone working with him. Every corrupt officer, every arms dealer, everyone who's killed American soldiers for profit. Maya met Torres's eyes. Can you give me that chance? Torres was quiet for a long moment. Then she nodded. One more mission, but this time you don't go alone. I'm giving you a team, support, resources. She pulled out her phone. And I'm putting out a statement that Commander Sarah Mitchell died in tonight's explosion, killed in the line of duty. Heroic sacrifice saving another sailor's life. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. Torres started the car. Because when you come back from the dead, Whitfield's going to know exactly who you are. And he's going to come at you with everything he has. Maya smiled. It wasn't a pleasant expression. Good, she said. I'm counting on it. The funeral was perfect. Flags, honor guard, a closed casket because the explosion had been so devastating. Maya watched from across the cemetery, wearing civilian clothes and sunglasses, as they buried Commander Sarah Mitchell with full military honors. You look strange at your own funeral, Torres whispered beside her. I've felt strange since Syria. Maya watched the honor guard fold the flag. At least this time I get to see who shows up. 47 people attended, mostly Pentagon staff who'd barely known Sarah Mitchell, a few intelligence officers, and in the back, standing apart from everyone else, Admiral James Whitfield. He wasn't crying, wasn't mourning. He was watching, studying faces, looking for something, looking for her. He knows, Maya said. Suspects, there's a difference. Torres handed her a folder. Amy Chen's awake. She's talking, and what she's saying changes everything. How? Whitfield isn't just selling weapons. He's selling intelligence. Operational plans, troop movements, everything that goes through Naval Special Warfare Command. Torres opened the folder. Chen found communications between Whitfield and a Syrian intelligence officer named Bashir al-Rahman. They've been working together for 8 years. Maya's blood froze. Al-Rahman. He's the one who planned the ambush that killed your team, yes. Torres closed the folder. Danny and Hawk didn't die because Whitfield sold their patrol route. They died because he's been actively working with the enemy, feeding them intelligence, helping them kill American soldiers. That's not arms trafficking. That's treason. Maya's voice shook. He should be executed for that. He will be, once we prove it. Torres pulled out another file. Which brings me to your new mission. We've identified Whitfield's handler. His what? Whitfield's not the top. He answers to someone. Someone with even more access, more power, more reach. Torres showed her a photograph. Colonel Richard Kane, Defense Intelligence Agency. He's been running Whitfield for 12 years, using him to funnel classified information to foreign governments. Maya stared at the photo. Kane was 60, gray-haired, looked like someone's grandfather. Where is he? That's the problem. Kane disappeared 3 hours after your warehouse incident. We think Whitfield warned him. They're both running. Then we find them. Hunt them down. We can't. Torres took the photo back. They have friends, resources, safe houses across 3 continents. If we chase them publicly, they'll disappear forever. But if we make them think they're safe, they come back. Maya understood. You want to use me as bait again? Not bait. Bait implies you're helpless. I want you to be the hunter who looks like prey. Torres pulled out a new identity. Meet Julia Rains, defense contractor, systems analyst. She's been hired to audit Pentagon logistics for the next 6 months. Maya took the folder. Julia Rains, 30 years old, prior Air Force, security clearance. Complete background designed to get her access to the same systems Whitfield had used. If Kane thinks someone new is investigating his operation, he'll have to surface to protect it, Torres said. And when he does, we take him, and through him, Whitfield. Maya studied the legend. When do I start? Monday. But Maya, you need to understand, Kane's not like Morrison or Kruger. He's DIA. He knows every trick we know, every tactic, every surveillance technique. One slip and you're dead. Really dead this time. Maya looked across the cemetery where they were lowering Sarah Mitchell's empty casket into the ground. I've been dead before. I'm getting used to it. 3 days later, Julia Rains walked into the Pentagon for her first day of work. Different hair, short, blonde. Different glasses, red frames, different mannerisms. More confident, less deferential. Everything designed to make her unmemorable and completely unlike Commander Sarah Mitchell. The audit office was exactly what she expected. Cubicles, computers, people who'd spent 20 years analyzing spreadsheets and had forgotten what the real world looked like. Ms. Rains, a woman in her 50s approached. I'm Sandra Pierce. I'll be supervising your audit work. Thank you, Ms. Pierce. Maya shook her hand. I'm looking forward to getting started. Good, because we have 12 years of logistics records to review. Equipment transfers, supply chains, inventory discrepancies. It's going to be tedious work. I like tedious. Details matter. Pierce smiled. You'll fit in perfectly here. Let me show you to your station. As Maya followed her through the office, she scanned faces, looking for anyone who showed too much interest, anyone who might be reporting back to Kane. She found him in the 3rd cubicle, young, early 20s, too interested in his computer screen when she walked past, the kind of studied indifference that screamed surveillance. Maya made a mental note, continued to her desk, logged into the system, and started looking for patterns. She found the first one within 2 hours. Equipment transfers to Ramstein, Morrison's operation, all had the same authorization signature. Not Morrison's, not Kruger's. Someone higher up the chain. She cross-referenced the signature against personnel records. Colonel Richard Kane. Got you, Maya whispered. Her phone buzzed. Torres. Careful, we're seeing unusual network activity from your terminal. Someone's watching. Maya looked around the office. The young man in the 3rd cubicle was typing rapidly. Too rapidly for someone reviewing logistics records. She typed back, I see him. What's the play? Feed him something. Make him think you're getting close. Force Kane to react. Maya pulled up a classified file. Equipment transfers to Syria. dates matching when her team had deployed. She downloaded it to a flash drive, made sure her surveillance was watching. 30 seconds later, her computer screen went black. What the? Maya stood, looked around. My system just crashed. Pierce hurried over. That's strange. Let me check. She typed commands, frowned. Someone locked you out remotely. This requires administrator privileges. Who has those privileges? Very few people. DIA oversight. Senior Pentagon officials. Pierce's frown deepened. I'll file a ticket. Should be resolved by tomorrow. But Maya knew it wouldn't be. Someone had seen what she'd accessed, shut her down. Which meant Kane was watching, responding, getting nervous. Perfect. That night, Maya's safe house door exploded inward. She was ready, had been ready since the moment she downloaded that file. She rolled left as bullets tore through the couch where she'd been sitting, came up with her weapon, fired twice. The first attacker went down. The second dove for cover. The third, Nicole Rivera. Don't shoot! Rivera's hands were up. Maya, don't shoot, it's me! Maya held her weapon steady. How did you find this location? Torres sent me. She said you needed backup. Rivera slowly lowered her hands. Your position's compromised. Kane knows Julia Raines is connected to Sarah Mitchell. He's sending a team. I know. I'm counting on it. Maya checked the dead attacker. Military contractor. No ID. Professional. How many? At least 4, maybe more. Rivera grabbed Maya's arm. We need to go, now, before... The windows exploded. Flashbangs, smoke grenades, tactical entry. Maya grabbed Rivera, pulled her behind the kitchen counter. How long have you been working with Torres? Since Rammstein. Since you saved Amy Chen. She recruited me. Rivera pulled her own weapon. I'm not trained like you, but I can shoot. Good, because we're about to. The first operative came through the smoke. Maya put 2 rounds center mass. He dropped. The second was faster, trained. He rolled, came up shooting. Rivera fired, missed, fired again, connected. The operative staggered but didn't fall. Body armor. Maya adjusted her aim. Headshot. He went down permanently. How many more? Rivera gasped. 2, maybe 3. Maya reloaded. We hold this position until... Her phone rang. Unknown number. She answered. Lieutenant Chen? Whitfield's voice. Or should I call you Julia Raines or Sarah Mitchell? You have so many names it's hard to keep track. Where's Kane? Safe. Protected. Somewhere you'll never find him. Whitfield laughed. Did you really think faking your death would fool me? I've been running operations since before you were born. Then you've been a traitor for a long time. Traitor. Such an ugly word. I prefer pragmatist. His voice hardened. Stand down, Chen. Let my men take you alive. Tell me what NCIS knows. Who else is investigating? And I'll make sure your death is quick. Like you made Danny and Hawk's deaths quick? Like you made Jennifer Hayes's death quick? Silence. Then, those were necessary casualties. Acceptable losses in a larger operation. They were my friends. They were obstacles, just like you. Another explosion rocked the safe house. You have 60 seconds to surrender. After that, my men have orders to burn the building with you inside. Maya looked at Rivera, at the smoke filling the room, at the bodies of the operatives she'd killed. 60 seconds. Maya, what do we do? Rivera's voice shook. Maya smiled. We give Whitfield what he wants. She dropped her weapon, raised her hands. All right, I surrender. Tell your men to stand down. Smart decision. My team will secure you but first, you're going to answer one question. Maya's voice cut through the smoke. If you're so sure Kane is safe, why did he withdraw $8 million from his offshore accounts yesterday? Why did he book 3 different flights under false identities? Why does he have a go bag prepared if he's not running? The line went quiet. You're bluffing, Whitfield said. Am I? Or maybe Kane doesn't trust you as much as you think. Maybe he's preparing to disappear and leave you holding the bag. Maybe while you're here trying to kill me, he's already halfway to a country with no extradition treaty. Kane would never, wouldn't he? You've been partners for 12 years, but when things get hot, everyone looks out for themselves, including you, including him. Maya let the words sink in. So here's my question, Admiral. Are you trying to kill me? Or should you be worrying about whether Kane's about to betray you? She heard it in his breathing. The doubt, the fear, the realization that she might be right. Stand down, Whitfield said to his team. Abort the operation. Fall back to secondary positions. The smoke began to clear. The tactical team withdrew. Maya and Rivera stood alone in the ruined safe house. Rivera stared at her. Did you just bluff an admiral into retreating? No. Maya picked up her weapon. I told him the truth. Kane withdrew that money yesterday. Torres confirmed it. He's running. And Whitfield just realized his partner is about to leave him hanging. So what happens now? Maya's phone buzzed. Torres. Whitfield just left the Pentagon, heading north, fast. We're tracking him. Now we follow Whitfield, Maya said, because he's going to lead us straight to Kane. And when he does, we take them both. 40 minutes later, Maya and Torres sat in an NCIS surveillance van 3 blocks from a private airfield in Maryland. Whitfield's car had just pulled up. He was pacing, checking his watch, making phone calls. Who's he calling? Maya asked. Torres checked the intercepts. Kane, 7 times in the last 20 minutes. Kane's not answering. Because Kane knows Whitfield's compromised, knows I'm onto them. He's cutting ties. Then why come to an airfield? Maya studied the facility. Private jets, no security, cash-only transactions. The kind of place people used when they needed to disappear fast. Because Whitfield's running too. He just doesn't realize Kane already left. A car pulled up. Not Kane, someone else. A woman, 60s, professional. She approached Whitfield with a briefcase. Torres zoomed in. That's Patricia Winters, Kane's executive assistant. 20 years at DIA. She's the cutout, Maya said. Kane sent her instead of coming himself. They watched as Winters handed Whitfield the briefcase. He opened it. His face went pale. He grabbed Winters, shouting. She pulled away, ran back to her car. What was in that briefcase? Rivera asked. Maya's phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. A photo. Danny Rodriguez and Marcus Hawkins in Syria, the day before they died. Smiling. Alive. Below the photo, your teammates served with honor. I'm sorry they had to die, but business is business. K. Maya's hands shook. He sent me a picture of Danny and Hawk. Kane? Torres grabbed the phone. That son of a, he's taunting you. Another text. Whitfield has something in that briefcase you'll want to see. Ask him about Operation Nightfall. Operation Nightfall, Maya repeated. What is that? Torres typed rapidly. Classified mission, 2 years ago, Syria. Intelligence gathering operation that... She stopped. Went white. Oh God. Maya, your team wasn't in Syria on a standard patrol. You were there gathering intelligence on Al-Rahman. Someone at DIA requested the operation specifically. Kane. He sent your team into an ambush deliberately, not to sell information, to eliminate witnesses. Your team must have found something about his operation, something he couldn't let get out. Maya felt like she'd been shot. They died because Kane needed them dead. And Whitfield helped make it happen. Torres pointed at the airfield. Whatever's in that briefcase, it's proof. Evidence Kane kept as insurance against Whitfield. He's using it to destroy his partner before disappearing. Maya was out of the van before Torres could stop her, sprinting across the tarmac, weapon drawn. "Whitfield!" The Admiral spun, saw her. His face went through shock, recognition, rage. "You're dead. You died in the warehouse." "I've died 3 times this month. I'm getting good at it." Maya kept her weapon trained on him. "What's in the briefcase?" "You can't. I have immunity. I have connections. You can't touch me." "I'm not NCIS. I'm not bound by their rules." Maya stepped closer. "I'm a SEAL whose team you murdered. So I'll ask again. What's in the briefcase?" Whitfield looked at her. Really looked. Saw the rage, the grief, the absolute certainty that she would kill him right there if he didn't cooperate. He opened the briefcase. Inside, files, documents, photographs, communications logs, everything chronicling his partnership with Kane. Every operation, every weapons sale, every intelligence leak. And at the bottom, a USB drive labeled Operation Nightfall. "Kane kept evidence," Whitfield whispered. "All these years. He kept evidence against me. Insurance in case I ever tried to betray him. And now he's using it to..." He looked up. "He's destroying me, leaving me to take the fall while he escapes." "Where is he?" "I don't know. He won't answer. Won't tell me where." Whitfield's phone buzzed. He looked at it, laughed bitterly. "He's sending me a flight number, mocking me, telling me he's already gone." Maya grabbed the phone. Flight 447 departed 2 hours ago. Destination, Dubai. "We can still catch him," Torres said, running up behind Maya. "Dubai has extradition treaties. We can..." "No." Maya picked up the USB drive. "Kane wouldn't go somewhere with extradition. This is another misdirection. Rivera, call the airport. Find out who is really on Flight 447. Rivera made the call, came back 60 seconds later. "Passenger list shows Richard Kane. Used his real name, real passport." "Which means it's not really him." Maya plugged the USB drive into her phone, started reviewing files. "He wouldn't be this obvious unless..." She stopped, stared at the screen. Operation Nightfall wasn't an intelligence-gathering mission. It was an assassination operation. Target, Bashir al-Rahman, the same Syrian intelligence officer Kane was working with. "He sent my team to kill his own partner," Maya whispered. "Why?" Torres looked over her shoulder. Maya kept reading. Found the answer. "Al-Rahman wanted out, threatened to expose Kane to Syrian intelligence, so Kane ordered my team to eliminate him, make it look like a sanctioned operation. But Al-Rahman found out, set the ambush, killed my team instead. And came that it happen," Torres finished. "Sacrificed 6 SEALs to cover up his partnership with a foreign agent." Maya looked at Whitfield. "You knew. You helped him do it." "I didn't have a choice. Kane had evidence against me. If I didn't cooperate, he would have..." "You always have a choice." Maya's finger tightened on the trigger.
You chose money over honor, power over duty, your own survival over my teammates' lives. Maya, Torres put a hand on her shoulder. Don't. This isn't who you are. Isn't it? I've been pretending to be weak for months, letting men like him hurt me, abuse me, kill people I care about, all for justice, for the system. Maya's voice cracked. But the system protected him for 12 years, protected Morrison, protected Kruger, protected all of them. When does justice actually happen? Right now. Torres nodded to the airfield entrance. Dozen NCIS agents, FBI tactical, military police, all converging on their position.
Whitfield's under arrest. Kane's location is being tracked. The network's being dismantled. It's happening, Maya. Justice is happening. Maya looked at Whitfield, at the man who'd murdered her friends, her teammates, her fiancé. Danny's voice echoed in her memory. The day you stop seeing enemies as human is the day you lose your humanity. She lowered her weapon. Admiral James Whitfield, Torres said formally. You're under arrest for treason, conspiracy to commit murder, and about 40 other charges I'll read you later. You have the right to remain silent. As they handcuffed Whitfield, Maya turned away. Couldn't watch. Couldn't breathe. Rivera found her at the edge of the tarmac. You did it. You got him. I got one of them. Kane's still out there. He won't run forever. Torres has every agency looking for him. Interpol, CIA. He can't hide. He's been hiding for 12 years. What's another 12? Maya looked at the sky. Somewhere up there, Richard Kane was flying to freedom, leaving everyone else to face consequences he'd never see. Her phone buzzed. Another text from Kane. You won. Congratulations, Lieutenant. Whitfield will spend his life in prison. His network is destroyed. You should feel proud. Maya typed back. Where are you? Somewhere safe. Somewhere you'll never find me. But don't worry. I'll be watching. Always watching. Every operation you run. Every mission you complete. Every person you care about. I'll be there. In the shadows. Waiting. The message felt like ice down her spine. You can't hide forever, Maya typed. I don't need forever. Just long enough. Goodbye, Lieutenant. We'll meet again someday. I promise. The number disconnected. Went dark. Untraceable. Torres walked over. That was him, wasn't it? He says we'll meet again. We will. We'll find him. Hunt him down. Make him pay for everything he's done. Maya wanted to believe that. Wanted to believe in justice, in consequences. In a world where the guilty actually faced punishment. But standing there on that airfield, watching them load Whitfield into a police transport, she couldn't shake the feeling that Kane was right. He'd be watching. Waiting. Always one step ahead. And next time, he wouldn't underestimate her. Next time, he'd be ready. The question was, would she? 3 weeks after Whitfield's arrest, Maya sat in an NCIS interrogation room, staring at a man who wouldn't talk. Patricia Winters, Kane's executive assistant, had been detained trying to board a flight to Singapore. She'd lawyered up immediately, refused to say anything. Until now. I want immunity, Winters said. Full immunity. Witness protection, new identity, everything. Torres leaned forward. You don't get to negotiate. You're an accessory to treason. Then I don't talk. And you never find Kane. Winters folded her hands. Your choice. Maya stood abruptly, walked around the table, got in Winters' face. You helped him kill my teammates. Helped him murder 3 women at Rammstein. Helped him destroy lives for 12 years. You think you deserve immunity? I think I deserve to survive. Winters didn't blink. Kane's not like Whitfield. Whitfield was greedy, sloppy. Kane's a true believer. He thinks he's serving a higher purpose, making America safer through unconventional means. He'll never stop, never surrender. The only way you catch him is if I tell you how. Then tell us. Immunity first. Torres pulled Maya aside. We need what she knows. If it means cutting a deal, she helped murder Danny and Hawk. I know. But if we don't find Kane, he'll keep killing. He's already sent 3 death threats this week. 1 to you, 1 to Rivera, 1 to Amy Chen. Torres lowered her voice. He's not done, Maya. He's planning something big. Winters is our only lead. Maya looked through the window at Winters. The woman sat calm, composed, holding all the cards. Fine. Give her immunity, but I want everything. Every location, every contact, every secret Kane ever told her. 30 minutes later, they had a deal. Winters took a sip of coffee and began talking. Kane's in Yemen, Sana'a. He has an apartment in the Old City under the name Thomas Bradley. He's been preparing this escape route for 5 years. Passport, bank accounts, contacts with local warlords. Yemen has no extradition treaty, Torres said. We can't touch him there legally. No, but you can touch him personally. Winters pulled out a phone. Kane doesn't know I was arrested. He thinks I'm still running errands for him. He calls me every Tuesday at noon Eastern. That's 4 hours from now. I can set up a meeting, tell him I have documents he needs to retrieve, get him to a location where your people can grab him. Why would you betray him? Maya asked. After 12 years of loyalty, why now? Winters met her eyes. Because he left me behind. Sent me to deliver that briefcase to Whitfield, knowing it would expose his entire operation, knowing I'd be arrested. He sacrificed me to buy himself time. Her voice hardened. I gave him 12 years. He gave me up in 12 seconds. So yes, I'll betray him. Gladly. Torres checked her watch. We have 4 hours to set up an operation in Yemen. Get approvals, coordinate with local assets. That's impossible. Not impossible. Maya pulled out her phone, called a number she hadn't used in 2 years. Commander Jackson? It's Maya Chen. I need a favor. A big one. Commander Marcus Jackson, SEAL Team 6, answered on the first ring. Chen, heard you died. Multiple times. I'm resilient. Listen, I need a team in Yemen. Sana'a. 4 hours. Can you make it happen? Silence. Then. What's the target? Colonel Richard Kane, DIA. Traitor. The man who sold out Danny and Hawk. Another pause. Longer this time. How sure are you? I have evidence, confessions, everything needed to put him away for life. I just need bodies to bring him in. Consider it done. Send me coordinates. We'll be there. Maya hung up, looked at Torres. We have our team. Maya, this is insane. You can't run an off-book extraction in Yemen. If something goes wrong, then it goes wrong. But I'm not letting Kane disappear. Not after what he did. Not after... Her voice broke. I can't let him win, Sarah. I can't. Torres studied her face, saw the exhaustion, the grief, the desperation of someone who'd been fighting for so long she'd forgotten how to stop. All right. But I'm coming with you, and we do this clean. No revenge kills, no executions. We bring him back alive to stand trial. Agreed?
Agreed.
12 hours later, Maya stood in an alley in Sana's old city, wearing local clothes and a headscarf, watching the cafe where Winters had told Kane to meet her. Commander Jackson and his team were positioned on the rooftops. Torres was in a vehicle 2 blocks away monitoring communications. Rivera was back up at the south exit. Everything was ready. Maya's earpiece crackled. Target approaching. Male, 60s, gray hair, matches Kane's description. Maya's pulse quickened. After weeks of hunting, after all the death and betrayal and loss. Finally. Kane entered the cafe, sat at a corner table, ordered coffee, looked completely at ease, like he didn't have a care in the world. He's alone, Jackson reported. No bodyguards, no security. Either he's stupid or it's a trap. It's not a trap, Winters said through the comms. She was back in Virginia, talking them through the operation. Kane's arrogant. He thinks he's untouchable, thinks no one would dare come after him in Yemen. Then he's about to learn different. Maya started across the street. Wait, Torres's voice, urgent. We just got a hit on facial recognition. There's a man in the cafe, back corner, former DIA, Michael Cortez. He's been on Kane's payroll for 3 years. Maya froze. How many others? Scanning now. 2 more. No. 3. All former intelligence. All armed. Torres's voice tightened. Maya, it's an ambush. Kane knew we were coming. Get out of there. How? How could he know? Winters' voice came through, panicked. Oh God, the phone. Kane must have tracked the phone I used to call him. He knew it was a setup. He's been planning this the whole time. Maya looked at the cafe. Kane was staring directly at her, smiling. He raised his coffee cup in a mock salute. Then all hell broke loose. The cafe exploded, not literally, but close. Kane's men opened fire on Jackson's positions, rooftop to rooftop, military-grade weapons, coordinated assault. We're taking fire, Jackson shouted. Multiple shooters. They knew our positions, every one of them. Maya drew her weapon, ran toward the cafe. Kane was already moving, out the back, into the maze of alleys that made up the old city. She followed, Torres screaming in her ear to fall back, Jackson calling for backup, Rivera reporting more shooters converging on their location. Maya ignored all of it, focused on one thing. Kane. She caught up to him 3 blocks away. He'd stopped running, was standing in an empty courtyard, waiting. Lieutenant Chen. He wasn't even breathing hard. You're persistent, I'll give you that. Maya aimed her weapon. On your knees, hands behind your head. Or what? You'll shoot me? An unarmed 60-year-old man? Kane smiled. You're not a killer, Lieutenant. You're a soldier. There's a difference. You killed my teammates. I made difficult decisions to protect national security. Your teammates were collateral damage in a larger war. They were people. Danny had a wife, a daughter he never got to meet. Hawk was 3 weeks from retirement. Jennifer Hayes was 29 years old with her whole life ahead of her. They weren't collateral damage. They were human beings you murdered. Kane's expression didn't change. And how many people have you killed, Lieutenant? In 6 years as a SEAL? 50? 100? Did you know their names? Their families? Or were they just targets? Just collateral damage in your missions? The words hit like bullets. Maya's hand trembled. That's different. I was following orders, protecting my country. So was I. Kane stepped closer. You think I'm a traitor. But everything I did to keep America safe. The intelligence I sold wasn't random. It was carefully selected to strengthen our alliances, weaken our enemies, and position us for strategic advantage. I'm a patriot, Lieutenant, just like you.
Patriots don't sell out their own people.
Don't they? You went undercover at Rammstein, let men beat you, hurt you, used yourself as bait. How is that different from what I did? We both sacrificed for the mission. The only difference is I was willing to go further. Maya's finger tightened on the trigger.
Last chance. Surrender, or I shoot.
Kane pulled out a phone. You shoot me, and this phone sends a signal. 23 operatives across 15 countries receive kill orders. 23 people investigating my network die within the hour, including Commander Torres, including Nicole Rivera, including Amy Chen. He held up the phone. So go ahead, pull the trigger, see what happens. Maya stared at the phone, at Kane's calm expression, at the impossible choice in front of her.
You're bluffing.
Am I? Kane's thumb hovered over the screen. Test me. See if I'm willing to burn everything down just to hurt you on my way out. See if I'm really the patriot I claim to be, or just a monster who doesn't want to lose.
Maya,
Torres's voice in her ear.
We've tracked the phone. He's not bluffing. There are 23 encrypted messages queued to send. We can't intercept them all in time.
Maya lowered her weapon slightly. What do you want? I want you to let me walk away. Get on a plane. Disappear. And in exchange, I delete the messages. Your people live. You go back to America. We both survive.
And you keep killing. Keep betraying. Keep destroying lives.
Perhaps. Or perhaps I retire. Live quietly. Hurt no one ever again. Kane smiled. You'll never know. But at least the people you care about will be alive to wonder. Maya's mind raced. Torres, Rivera, Chen, 20 other investigators she'd never met but who were risking their lives to stop Kane's network. Could she sacrifice them for justice? Could she let a traitor walk free to save innocent people? What would Danny do? What would Hawk choose? 5 seconds, Lieutenant, Kane said. Then I push send and watch your world burn. 5, 4, 3... Wait! Maya lowered her weapon completely. You win. Walk away. But the messages get deleted. Right now, in front of me. Kane's smile widened. Smart choice. He opened the phone, started deleting messages, one by one, showing her the screen as each disappeared. 23 messages, 23 lives, all hanging on whether Kane was telling the truth. He deleted the last one, pocketed the phone. Pleasure doing business with you, Lieutenant. Give my regards to... Maya shot him. Not center mass, in the shoulder, spinning him. The phone flew from his hand. She was on it before he hit the ground. Checked the messages. All still there. He'd deleted decoys, fake messages. The real kill orders were still queued. You lying son of a... Kane laughed, clutching his bleeding shoulder. Did you really think I'd honor a deal with someone hunting me? I'm a spy, Lieutenant. Deception is what I do. Maya grabbed the phone, started deleting the actual messages. 1, 2, 3. Her hands shaking. 12, 15, 20. Kane pulled a backup weapon from his ankle holster, aimed at her head. Drop the phone. Maya kept deleting. 21, 22. I said drop it! 23, all deleted. She dropped the phone, raised her hands, stared at the gun pointed at her face. You cost me everything, Kane said. Blood soaked his shirt. His hand trembled. My career, my network, 12 years of work. You destroyed it all.
Good.
Good? He laughed bitterly. You think this is over? Whitfield will cut a deal, testify against everyone to save himself. He'll give up names, operations, everything. And you know what happens then?
Justice.
Chaos. The people Whitfield exposes aren't all traitors, Lieutenant. Some are legitimate intelligence assets, undercover operatives, deep cover agents who've spent years building trust with foreign governments. When their names come out, they die. All of them. Because you couldn't let this go. Maya's stomach dropped.
You're lying.
Am I? Ask Torres. She knows. She's seen the list of names Whitfield's threatening to expose. 57 operatives. All burned, all dead. All because you wanted revenge. Maya's earpiece crackled. Torres's voice, barely a whisper.
Maya, he's right. Whitfield's threatening to expose active operations if we don't offer a plea deal. We're trying to contain it, but...
57 people, Kane repeated. Dying because of you. Because you couldn't accept that sometimes the bad guys win. Sometimes the traitors walk free. Sometimes justice costs more than it's worth.
Then we save them, extract them, get them out before...
There's no time. Whitfield's lawyers filed the motions an hour ago. By tomorrow, those names go public. Game over. Kane's finger tightened on the trigger. So congratulations, Lieutenant. You won. You got your justice. And 57 people will pay the price. A gunshot cracked. Kane staggered, looked down at the hole in his chest, looked up at Maya. She hadn't fired. Her weapon was still holstered. Commander Jackson stepped out from behind a wall, smoking rifle in his hands.
Target neutralized.
Kane fell, hit the ground hard, blood pooling beneath him. Maya ran to him, pressed her hands against the wound.
Stay with me. Don't you dare die before telling me how to save those operatives.
Kane coughed, blood on his lips.
Can't. Already done. Whitfield's lawyers have everything. Nothing stops it now. There has to be a way. Some leverage. No leverage. No deals. No happy endings.
His eyes were fading.
This is war, Lieutenant. Real war. Not the sanitized version they show on TV. People die. Good people. Bad people. Everyone bleeds the same. Who else is involved? Who else in DIA? Pentagon? Give me names.
Kane smiled.
Go to hell.
His eyes went empty. Still. Gone. Maya sat back, covered in his blood, staring at the man who'd destroyed so many lives and taken his secrets to the grave. Jackson approached. You okay?
He's dead.
He was reaching for his weapon. I had no choice.
I know.
Maya stood. Her legs shook. Did you hear what he said? About the 57 operatives?
Every word.
Jackson handed her a cloth.
Torres is working on it, pulling every string she has. But Maya, if those names go public...
I know. Maya wiped Kane's blood from her hands. Couldn't get it all off. Couldn't get clean.
We stopped Kane. Stopped Whitfield. Stopped the network. And we might have just killed 57 of our own people anyway.
Her phone rang. Torres. Maya answered. Tell me you have good news.
I have news.
Torres's voice was tight.
Whitfield just withdrew his threat to expose the operatives. His lawyers called 10 minutes ago. Complete reversal. They're accepting a plea deal. Life in prison, no chance of parole. In exchange, all classified names stay sealed. Maya's knees went weak. Why? What changed? I don't know. Whitfield won't say. Just that something made him reconsider. Something that scared him more than spending his life in prison. Maya looked at Kane's body,
at the phone still clutched in his dead hand. She picked it up, opened it, found one last message, unsent, addressed to Whitfield. If anything happens to me, the evidence I kept against you goes to Syrian intelligence. They'll know you betrayed al-Rahman. They'll know you set him up. And they'll spend the rest of your life hunting you. Even in an American prison, even in protective custody. They'll find you. Maya showed the message to Torres. Kane had leverage over Whitfield, one last threat. If Kane died, Whitfield's enemies would know where to find him. So Whitfield backed down, took the deal, sealed the names. Torres exhaled. The operatives are safe. Because a traitor threatened another traitor. Maya deleted the message. That's what justice looks like now? Deals and threats, and everyone just barely surviving? Sometimes, yeah. Torres's voice softened. But 57 people are alive because you stopped Kane. Because you didn't give up. That counts for something. Maya looked around the courtyard, at Kane's body, at Jackson's team securing the area, at the blood on her hands that wouldn't wash off. Does it? Because right now I can't tell the difference between the good guys and the bad guys anymore. We all lie. We all kill. We all do terrible things and call it justice. The difference is why we do it, Jackson said. Kane killed for money and power. You fight to protect people. That matters. Tell that to Jennifer Hayes, to Danny and Hawk, to all the people who died while I was fighting the good fight. Maya's voice broke. They're still dead, and I'm still here, covered in blood, wondering if any of this was worth it. Rivera's voice came through the comms. Maya, we have a problem. Local police are responding to the gunfire. We need to extract now. Copy. Maya looked at Jackson. Get your team out. I'll handle the locals. Like hell. You're coming with us. I'm not leaving without Kane's body. He deserves to rot in an American prison. Even dead, he's facing justice. Maya, that's an order, Commander. Jackson hesitated, then nodded. You have 5 minutes. Then we're gone, with or without you. The team moved out. Maya stood alone with Kane's corpse, stared at the man who'd caused so much pain, so much loss, so much death. And she felt nothing. No satisfaction, no relief, no sense of justice served. Just emptiness and exhaustion, and the crushing weight of knowing this fight would never truly end. There would always be another Kane, another Whitfield, another network of corruption that needed to be torn down. And she would keep fighting, keep hunting, keep sacrificing pieces of herself until there was nothing left. Because that's what warriors did, even when they couldn't remember why anymore. Sirens wailed in the distance. Maya grabbed Kane's body, hauled it over her shoulder, started walking toward the extraction point. Her phone buzzed one last time. Torres. Come home, Maya. You've done enough. Time to rest. Maya looked at the message for a long time. Then she kept walking. Because rest was for people who'd won their wars, and hers had just begun. The flight back to Virginia took 18 hours. Maya sat in the cargo hold next to Kane's body bag, staring at nothing. Jackson had tried to get her to move to the passenger section. She'd refused. Needed to see what she'd done.
what she'd become. Torres met her at the airfield, took one look at Maya's face, and didn't ask questions. Just drove her to a safe house, ran a bath, made coffee, sat in silence until Maya was ready to talk. "Whitfield's trial starts in 3 weeks, Torres said finally. "Prosecution wants you to testify." "No." "Maya, you're the key witness. Without your testimony, I said no." Maya's hands shook around her coffee cup. "I've spent 4 months living as different people, getting beaten, getting shot at, watching people die. I'm done performing."
This isn't performance, it's justice. Is it? Maya set down the cup. Whitfield gets life in prison. Kame's dead. Morrison and Kruger are awaiting sentencing. We dismantled the network. But how many others are still out there? How many corrupt officers are we not catching? How many more Jennifer Hayes are dying while we celebrate our victories? Torres was quiet for a moment. The FBI identified 43 more people in Whitfield's network. We're building cases against all of them. It's happening, Maya. Real change. Real accountability. It's not enough. It's never enough. That's the job. We stop what we can, save who we can. And we keep fighting because the alternative is letting them win. Torres leaned forward. But you can't keep fighting if you burn yourself out. You've been running on rage and adrenaline for 4 months. Eventually you crash. I'm fine. You're sitting in a safe house at 3 a.m, covered in blood that's not yours, refusing to sleep because you're afraid of what you'll see when you close your eyes. That's not fine. That's trauma. Torres's voice softened. Take the win, Maya. Testify at Whitfield's trial. See him sentenced. Then take time off. Heal. Remember who you are outside of the mission. Maya wanted to argue, wanted to say she didn't need healing, didn't need time off. But sitting there in the pre-dawn darkness, she couldn't remember the last time she'd felt like herself. Couldn't remember what herself even meant anymore. What if I can't stop? She whispered. What if I don't know how to be anything except this? Then we figure it out together. But first, you rest. Doctor's orders. Maya almost smiled. You're not a doctor. No, but I care about you, and I'm not watching you destroy yourself for this job. Torres stood. Get some sleep. Real sleep. That's an order. She left. Maya sat alone in the silence. Tried to sleep. Couldn't. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw faces. Grant, Morrison, Kruger, Whitfield, Kane. All the people she'd hunted, all the people she'd hurt. And behind them, Danny, Hawk, Jennifer. All the people she'd failed to save. Her phone buzzed. Rivera. Heard you made it back. Want company? Maya typed, Not great company right now. Don't care. Be there in 20. True to her word, Rivera showed up 19 minutes later with takeout Chinese food and a 6-pack of beer. You look like hell, Rivera said, sitting on the couch. Feel worse. Good. That means you're human. Rivera handed her a beer. Jackson called me, told me what happened in Yemen. Said you carried Kane's body 2 miles through hostile territory because you refused to leave him. He deserved to face justice. He was dead, Maya. Justice was already served. Rivera opened her own beer. You carried a corpse 2 miles because you needed to feel like you'd won, like it meant something. I get it. I've been there. Maya looked at her. When? Ramstein, after we took down Morrison and Kruger. I couldn't sleep for weeks, kept thinking about all the women they'd hurt before we stopped them. All the lives we didn't save because we weren't fast enough. Rivera's voice cracked. The guilt nearly killed me. Would have killed me if Torres hadn't pulled me aside and said something that changed everything. What did she say? She said guilt means you still have a conscience, means you still care about the people you're fighting for. The moment you stop feeling guilty is the moment you become like them. Rivera met her eyes. So yeah, feel guilty, feel angry, feel everything. But don't let it consume you, because we still need you. The women you're protecting still need you. I don't know if I can do this anymore. You don't have to decide tonight, or tomorrow, or next week. Rivera handed her an egg roll. Just eat, rest, let yourself be human for a while. The war will still be there when you're ready. They ate in silence, drank beer, watched terrible late-night television, and for the first time in months, Maya felt something close to normal. At dawn, Rivera left. Maya finally slept, dreamless, deep, the kind of sleep that comes from absolute exhaustion. She woke 12 hours later to pounding on her door. "Maya, open up!" Torres's voice, urgent. Maya grabbed her weapon, opened the door. "What's wrong?" Torres pushed past her, turned on the TV. "You need to see this." The news was playing. Breaking story. Maya's face filled the screen. Navy SEAL Lieutenant Maya Chen, who died 3 months ago in a training accident, has been revealed to be alive and working undercover for NCIS in a massive corruption investigation. Sources confirmed Chen was instrumental in the arrests of Admiral James Whitfield, Lieutenant Colonel Frank Morrison, and dozens of others in an arms trafficking network that spanned 12 years. Maya stared. How did they... Who leaked this? We don't know, but it gets worse. Torres changed the channel. Same story, different network. Your real identity is public. Every operation you ran, every cover you used. Sarah Mitchell, Julia Raines, Emily Sanders, all of it's out there. Which means everyone Kane and Whitfield worked with knows who I am, knows where to find me. We're putting you in protective custody, relocating you, new identity, full witness protection. No. Maya, this isn't negotiable. Your life is in danger. We've already received 3 credible threats in the past hour, people who want revenge for what you did to Whitfield's network. Then let them come. Maya's jaw set. I'm not hiding, not running. If they want me, they know where to find me. That's suicide. That's taking a stand. Maya turned off the TV. For 4 months, I've been pretending to be weak, pretending to be a victim, letting people underestimate me so I could take them down. I'm done pretending. If someone wants revenge, they can face me directly, as me, Maya Chen, SEAL, not some fake identity. Torres stared at her. You've lost your mind. Maybe. Or maybe I finally found it. Maya started pacing. We've been fighting this war in the shadows. Secret investigations, undercover operations, hiding from the corruption instead of confronting it. What if we stopped hiding? What if we went public with everything? Made it impossible for the next Morrison or Kane to operate because everyone would be watching. You want to testify publicly? Put yourself in the spotlight? I want to tell the truth. All of it. Jennifer Hayes, Danny Rodriguez, Marcus Hawkins. Every person who died because people like Whitfield valued money over honor. I want their stories told, their names remembered, their deaths to mean something. Torres was quiet for a long moment. If you do this, you become a target, forever. Everyone you ever investigated, everyone in their networks, they'll come after you. Good. I'll be ready. Maya, I've been a ghost for 6 years. A weapon people pointed at problems and expected to disappear afterward. I'm done disappearing. Maya grabbed her jacket. Set up a press conference, tomorrow.
I'll tell them everything.
The press conference happened 36 hours later. Federal Building, Washington, D.C. Every major news network. Maya stood at a podium wearing her dress whites, looking directly at the cameras, and told the truth. She told them about Jennifer Hayes, about finding her friend's body and knowing it wasn't suicide, about going undercover at Ramstein to find her killers. She told them about Morrison and Kruger, about being beaten, about letting herself be broken so she could build a case. She told them about Danny Rodriguez and Marcus Hawkins, about the Syria ambush, about learning that Admiral Whitfield had orchestrated their deaths. She told them about Cain, about Yemen, about carrying his body through hostile territory, because even traitors deserved to face justice. And she told them about the 57 operatives who almost died because she'd been so focused on revenge, she'd forgotten about consequences.
I'm not a hero, Maya said, her voice steady. I'm a person who watched friends die and wanted someone to pay. I made mistakes, took risks that endangered others, prioritized justice over safety. And I'd do it all again. Because the alternative is letting corruption win. Letting predators operate with impunity. Letting people like Jennifer Hayes die without anyone fighting for them. She paused, looked directly at the camera. There are people watching this who worked with Whitfield, with Cain,
With Morrison and Kruger, people who are still out there, still selling weapons, still betraying their oaths, still killing for profit. Her voice hardened.
I'm coming for you. Not as a ghost, not in disguise. As myself. Maya Chen, Seal. And I will not stop until every one of you faces justice.
The room erupted, questions shouted, cameras flashing. Torres pulled her away from the podium.
That was either the bravest or stupidest thing I've ever seen, Torres said. Probably both.
Maya's phone was already buzzing, death threats pouring in.
How many? 43 so far. FBI's tracking all of them.
Torres grabbed her arm.
Maya, you just painted a target on yourself the size of Texas. Every enemy you've ever made now knows exactly who you are and where to find you. I know. And you're okay with that? I'm alive with that.
Maya pocketed her phone.
For the first time in months, I feel alive. Not like a character, not like a weapon. Like me.
Rivera found her an hour later in the parking garage. You're insane. You know that, right?
So I've been told.
Also? Rivera smiled.
You're my hero. What you said up there about fighting for people who can't fight for themselves, about refusing to let the bad guys win? That's everything I needed to hear.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Rivera pulled out a folder.
Which is why I'm joining NCIS. Torres offered me a position, investigating military corruption, working cases like yours. And I want you as my partner.
Maya took the folder, looked at the offer letter, the assignment, the mission statement about protecting service members from institutional abuse.
You want me to be an investigator? Not a SEAL? I want you to do what you do best. Hunt predators, save lives, make a difference.
Rivera's eyes shone.
But this time with backup, with a team, with people who understand what you've been through because we've been through it too.
Maya thought about Torres, about Jackson, about all the people who'd helped her survive the past 4 months, about Jennifer and Danny and Hawk, who hadn't survived because she'd been alone when it mattered most.
Okay, she said quietly. I'm in.
6 months later, Maya stood in front of her first training class. 50 women, all military,
all survivors of harassment, assault, or institutional betrayal. All ready to learn how to fight back. "My name is Lieutenant Maya Chen," she said. "6 months ago, I went undercover to expose a corruption network that had been killing women for 12 years. I was beaten, shot at, nearly blown up. And I survived because I refused to stay weak. Refused to let them break me. Refused to accept that this was just how things were." She looked at their faces, saw herself reflected in every one of them. "You're here because someone hurt you. Someone betrayed you. Someone made you feel powerless. I'm here to tell you that feeling is a lie. You are not powerless. You are not weak.
You are warriors who just haven't been given the right weapons yet." She walked down the line, met each woman's eyes. "I'm going to teach you how to fight. Not just physically, but systemically. How to document abuse, how to build cases, how to protect yourself and others. And when you graduate, you're going to go back to your units, and you're going to be the person who stands up, who speaks out, who refuses to let the next Jennifer Hayes die in silence." A hand raised. Young woman, early 20s. Maya nodded at her. "What if they're too powerful? What if speaking out gets us killed?" Maya thought about Morrison, about Kruger, about Whitfield and Kane and all the people who'd thought themselves untouchable. "Then you make sure your voice is heard before they silence it. You build evidence. You find allies. You refuse to fight alone." She smiled. "And if they still come for you, you make sure they know exactly who they're dealing with. Because we're not victims anymore. We're survivors, and survivors don't go down quiet." The class began. Maya taught them everything she'd learned: hand-to-hand combat, evidence documentation, legal procedures, survival tactics. Everything that had kept her alive through 4 months of hell. And as she watched them train, watched them transform from scared survivors into confident warriors, she finally understood what Torres had meant about justice never being enough. It wasn't about catching every predator, stopping every corrupt officer, winning every fight. It was about creating a legacy, training the next generation, making sure that when she was gone, the fight would continue. Jennifer Hayes' death had sparked this journey, but it wouldn't end with Maya. It would continue through every woman she trained, every case Rivera investigated, every corrupt officer Torres brought down. The network was bigger than Whitfield, bigger than Kane, bigger than any one person. But so was the resistance. After class, Amy Chen found her, the woman Maya had saved from the warehouse explosion. She'd recovered, returned to duty, joined Maya's first training class. "Thank you," Chen said simply, "for saving my life, for teaching me how to save myself." "You saved yourself," Maya said. "I just gave you the tools." "No, you gave me hope." Chen looked at the other women training. "We all thought we were alone, that speaking out meant dying alone. You showed us we could fight back, together, and win." Maya watched the women sparring, supporting each other, building the bonds that would sustain them through battles to come. "This is just the beginning," she said. "There are thousands more who need this training, thousands more who are suffering in silence." "Then we reach them," Chen smiled. "One class at a time, one survivor at a time, until every woman in uniform knows she has people who will fight for her." Torres approached as Chen left. The Whitfield verdict came in. Maya turned. "And?" "Life without parole. 47 counts. He'll die in prison." Torres handed her a folder. "Morrison got 35 years, Kruger got 40, Grant got 20. Every single person in the network is going away." Maya took the folder, looked at the sentencing documents, the convictions, the justice that had cost so much.
Jennifer would be proud,
Torres said softly.
Would she?
Maya's voice caught.
I let her die. Didn't save her in time. Didn't stop Morrison before he...
You avenged her, exposed the people who killed her, made sure no other woman would die the way she did. Torres squeezed her shoulder. That's not nothing, Maya. That's everything. Maya looked at the training facility, at the women learning to fight, at the legacy being built from grief and rage and determination.
It's not enough, she said. It's never enough. But it's something. And something is better than silence.
That night, Maya visited Arlington National Cemetery, found Jennifer Hayes's grave, sat in the grass beside it.
I kept my promise,
she whispered.
The people who killed you are in prison. Your death mattered. Your story was told. And I'm making sure no one else has to die the way you did.
The stone didn't answer. It never would. But Maya felt something shift inside her. Not closure. She'd never have that. But acceptance. The understanding that grief and purpose could coexist, that she could carry Jennifer's memory without it destroying her. Her phone buzzed. Rivera. New case. Senator's aide reporting systematic harassment at Pentagon office. Sounds familiar. Maya smiled. Typed back. On my way. She stood, touched Jennifer's headstone one last time.
Rest easy, friend. I've got it from here.
As she walked away, the sun was rising over the cemetery. A new day. A new mission. A new chance to make a difference. Maya Chen had been called weak, called a brat, called insignificant. She'd been beaten, broken, left for dead. But she'd risen every single time. Not because she was invincible, but because she refused to stay down. Because she'd learned the most important lesson of all. Strength wasn't about never being hurt. It was about getting hurt and choosing to keep fighting anyway. She'd spent years being underestimated, let people see a small woman and assume she was helpless. But she was done being underestimated, done hiding her strength, done pretending weakness was safety. From now on, everyone would know exactly who Maya Chen was. A warrior who'd survived hell, exposed corruption, and built something lasting from the ashes of grief. And anyone who thought they could break her, anyone who thought size or gender or appearance determined strength, was about to learn the same lesson Morrison, Kruger, Whitfield, and Kane had learned too late. Maya Chen wasn't the girl who got kicked down and stayed down. She was the SEAL who struck back. And she was just getting started.